Pants are incredibly tight.
I don't even know how to start on that one. Well, Jon, I mean, obviously tested to the very limit tonight, man. Pushed by a contender, but you walk out victorious. I'm sure you want to go back and watch the tape and all that and break it down. But just in terms of emotion and thoughts right now after a fight like that, what can you share with us? What you're thinking, what you're feeling at the moment?
Well, I got to start by just saying thank you to my Lord and Savior Jesus Christ for just allowing me to be here on this journey, for making my feet like hinds feet and setting me on high places. This is truly a high place to be a Christian fighter representing the UFC and being one of the best. It means a lot. So thank my Lord Jesus for that. My team, I can't sit here and name every one of them because I don't want to forget a name. But the team of men around me, they've invested so much. And I'm so grateful to each and every one of you guys for the time that you spent away from your wives and your kids, being with me, helping me on my journey. I got one coach that got his first world championship tonight. I'm so proud for him. And I'm proud for all these guys. I want to thank my fans who's been with me through thick and thin. I want to thank them so much for everyone who ordered the pay-per-view tonight, all the fans that travel to be in attendance. Thank you guys so much. My fiance, Jesse, I love you. Thank you so much for all the support. My kids, thank you for your sacrifice. Your question was?
As far as you personally, I mean, obviously great thanks for all those people, but you, right now, your emotions, your thoughts after going through a fight like that where you were really pushed to the limit, but got to retain your title.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, you hear people say, you don't lose, you learn. And I'm really grateful to have a win and such a learning experience. Dominick did a tremendous job. I respect him dearly. I respect him wholeheartedly. And what a way to put yourself in the history books. Doing it with such a hard-earned fight. You know, David Goggins, he wrote me last night, and I can't repeat what he said verbatim, but the basis of his message was, be the guy who embraces the ugly, the miserable. Be the guy who embraces hard work, the grind. Don't be afraid of being hurt. Don't be afraid of sacrificing some blood. You know, and you know, the whole week I was thinking, I want to finish this fight. I want to finish this fight before the championship rounds. And this is, you know, I should be able to smash this guy. You know, Goggins' message, it was for a reason, you know, his reason. And Greg Jackson's been saying it for years, be comfortable being uncomfortable. But Goggins gave me a really good reminder of just, Jon, you should want this fight to be miserable. You should want this to hurt. You're the guy who thrives in that. And I felt like I was that guy tonight. I had to earn this position. You know, I think about, you know, the first person to climb Everest. You know, I'm sure people died. Lots of people died. And I respectfully say that. The first man who ran a 4-minute mile, I'm sure he was hurting bad. You know, to be the first person to do anything, you should look like this. So that makes the victory even sweeter.
Talk about those first 2 rounds. I mean, you talk about embracing the ugly and the grind. I mean, that guy came after you from the opening bell, showed you no respect, you know, and brought it to you. So what's going through your head those opening 2 rounds? I mean, is there panic? Is there concern? Like, oh my gosh, this guy is more than I thought he would be.
Yeah, there's no panic. A part of me just wanted to see. A part of me wanted to see how long he could keep that up. A part of me wanted to see what he had to offer, and I saw what he had to offer. I also saw that he couldn't keep that up, and you got to embrace that. You know, what I do for a living is not always pleasant. It's a big part of the game. It was a great feeling out process. I realized that I got to take his best punches. I think my chin is very underrated.
Some people are saying controversial, at least everybody's saying close, right? I mean, the decision was close. You go to the final bell, you and your team are talking, you're out there waiting. What did you think? I mean, how confident, how comfortable were you? Yes, we banked 3 rounds. I mean, did you know, or was there a little bit of fear to think, maybe we came up just a little short tonight?
I wasn't always confident that I was winning the fight. I was confident that I wasn't going to be giving up or slowing down. Greg Jackson said to me, "John, you may need to win this 5th round to win." And I heard of a champion say, "No problem, coach. I got that. I can do that for you. I can leave it all out there." Got 5 minutes left. And I think I displayed the difference between a champion and an extraordinary contender. He had all the tools. I think he had the endurance. But something special happens. Something special happens when it's a time for the champion to present himself. You guys saw it tonight in the 5th round.
Yeah. Last thing for me, John, I mean, this guy, is he a guy that you think you're going to see again in the future? Because I think a lot of people would be intrigued, just like they were when Gustafsson pushed you to the limit. They wanted to see it again at one point. Is this a guy that you want to see again at one point to maybe prove a point or just to have an epic encounter?
Yeah, I heard he may have torn his ACL, and if that's true, he could be out for up to a year. It's not torn?
He said he didn't think it was, but...
Well, in that case, it's my job to embrace the toughest challenges. I mean, that's what a champion's being about. You know, I fought DC twice. Had no problem signing the contract. I fought Alexander Gustafsson twice. No problem signing the contract. And if the people want to see me fight Dominick again, it's going to be up to Dana White to find a way to make that happen.
In front of you. Second fight in a row where kind of the post-fight narrative is, oh, it was really close, all that kind of stuff. Dana was in here earlier and he said that just from what you did so early in your career, the standard is so high for you, or the expectations are so high for you to perform. Do you think, in the sense that people, it kind of clouds their judgment in a fight? They see a guy, giving you a little bit of trouble and maybe they think he's doing better than he actually is in a way?
Yeah, I got to watch, I think it was Gilbert Melendez, and I want to say it was Dominick Reyes. They did an interview recently where they watched my Thiago Santos fight. They watched it without commentary, and they also watched it without. They watched it after some time had passed, and they got to look at it without all the emotion, and they realized, excuse me, and they realized maybe this fight, maybe John really did win the fight, So I think I have set a high standard. Out of maybe 30 fights, only 3 people have put me into an actual competitive match. Seeing me with black eyes, seeing me get punched is not something that happens every time I show up. So people definitely get really excited, even when an opponent throws a jab. When an opponent, at one point I think I fell to the ground, wasn't hurt, I bounced right back up. But the fans loved that, you know what I mean? So it's hard when when people expect great things out of you at all moments. I'm still a martial artist like everyone else. I bleed, I have insecurities, I have weakness, I have pain right now. So it's hard when not only you're fighting for these records, but you're fighting for people's approval. You're fighting to look extraordinary every time. It's a lot of pressure.
Yeah, and with that said, though, I'm sure you would prefer to have the dominant performances, the finishes and everything. In your mind, is there anything you can be doing, whether it's in your preparation in the fights itself, to make these fights more definitive and not having us have these discussions about being close afterwards?
Yeah, I'm happy with what myself and my team have been able to accomplish. Out of my last 4 fights, I finished Alexander Gustafsson, which was, he sent me to the hospital the first time. I experienced morphine for the first time with him, and I finished him. And then Anthony Smith, I didn't get the finish, but he was in the fetal position for a lot of that fight. That was a dominating performance. And unfortunately, for some of my fans, Thiago Santos and Dominick Reyes, I couldn't put them away, and they challenged me. But there's good in that. One of Mike Tyson's biggest problems was that he was so dominant, people lost interest. So the fans got their money worth tonight by seeing me go through the ringer, and getting to see the heart of a champion. That's totally worth the $60 you paid on pay-per-view. There's good in this.
And lastly for me, you mentioned the history books and records and stuff a few times up here. I mean, most title fight wins in history now. You're one of the few people to have 20 UFC wins, longest unbeaten streak, all these things. I think I saw you mention that you're one of the greatest American athletes in the UFC quote they sent out. What does just tonight, making this type of history, mean to you and your legacy?
It means a lot. As of right now, it's hard to, I've been so focused on winning this fight, I haven't really thought about everything this means. But I know it means a lot. There's been so many tremendous athletes to compete in the UFC, and to do something that none of them has done, it means a lot. I'm happy for myself, but I'm more happy for my coaches. I mean, these guys are a part of something special. When they get to tell their grandkids, I train possibly one of the baddest fighters ever, and hopefully the record still stands when they have grandkids. I think years from now, what I did tonight will be more appreciated. I really don't see anyone beating this record for a very long time. If George St. Pierre came back, I guess he could compete for that to get right. Could he?
One behind.
Yeah, he's one behind me. So George will be the only person that can come back and compete for this record. Outside of that, I don't see anybody getting up there with that record. Mixed martial arts is getting harder and harder. The holes in people's games are closing up. Everyone has takedown defense now. Everyone knows a little jiu-jitsu now. Everyone can switch stances and do things like that. So I think I'll appreciate what happened tonight, 10 years from now, when that record is still standing.
All right, John. First question over here. You talked a couple of times about the heart of a champion. I don't know if you were aware of the former Houston Rockets coach, Ricky Tomjanovich, when they defended their title in the 94-95 season. He talked about never underestimate the heart of a champion. Is that something you felt that Dominick underestimated today, your heart and your chin, perhaps?
Yeah, that chin is underrated for sure. I've watched Dominick knock so many people out, and I feel like I took some of his cleanest shots, and at no point was I wobbled. I think my vision went out at a few points, but God has blessed me with a chin, and that's something I can't take credit for at all. Either you're born with one or you're not. And I have a great chin, so I'm grateful for that. But a heart of a champion, man, that's something that I don't know can be taught by a coach. I think that's also something you're born with. And I got to let that come out. I knew it was inside of me. One thing about fights like Thiago Santos and Gustafsson and tonight, you exercise that warrior spirit. You exercise that little bit of that a lot of people don't have, man. When the going gets tough for a lot of people, they look for a way out. There's a little door. Rampage Jackson talks about it. There's a door that opens up and says, this is a challenge here. The easy way out, you can take this fall. You can tap out, you can let them catch you, you can pretend like that body shot hurt, curl up. I'm grateful that I got to exercise my dog tonight.